everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. Battle report 195 is a 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion versus Lust's Fury of the Legion of Chaos. This is a fun game. It's mostly demons with a little bit of warriors and beastmen thrown in there just because, Legions is cool. And it's is actually a very good game, very close game. So sit back, relax, and get ready to listen to the sultry sounds of my voice as I lead you through this one.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it's more of the same. I have my Tomb King, Lord Tremendous. He's got a shield, Sword of Antiheroes, Armor of Destiny, Dragonbane Gem, and the other Trickster Shard. Then I have my Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 4 wizard with a Staff of Sorcery and Lore Nehekara. My hero choices are a Vampire, Lady Coco, who's a level 2 wizard, BSB, Great Weapon, Armor of Silvered Steel, Luckstone Forbidden Lore, Laura Metal. And my Necromancer, Dark Vincent, who's a level 2 wizard with a Dispel Scroll and uses the Lore of Undeath. And my Necrotech, Sinister Jeffrey, and he's wearing his Dragon Helm. My core choices are 5 Skeleton Horse Archers with a banner, 57 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command light armor shields, 12 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard with full command, and 3 Chariots, Rolling Bones, with Musician Banner and a Banner of Eternal Flame. My special choices are 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, 3 Vargheists, 1 Chimerian War Sphinx,
Kitty!
with Fiery Roar, and my rare choices are my Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, and my Casket of Souls. Here's my opponent's list, which consists of a Keeper of Secrets, who's a level 4 wizard, Soul Eater, and the Sword of Swift Slaying. The greater and lesser gift, he defaulted one over to the Sword of Swift Slaying, and one was just Soul Eater, which I think means like when he does a wound, he gains a wound or something like that. I'm not 100%. But he's got a Keeper of Secrets, so you know he's just going to be spamming the choir, and who wouldn't? I mean, honestly, I would. His hero choices are a Herald of Khorne with a Blade of Blood, and a Herald of Tzeentch, level 2 wizard with a Disc of Tzeentch. His core choice is a unit of 42 Bloodletters with full command and a Banner of Swiftness, basically a naked blender. And his special choices are a unit of 3 Minotaurs with the Mark of Khorne, great weapons and full command, 5 Chaos Knights, also Mark of Khorne with ensorcelled weapons and full command, and 5 Fleshhounds. His rare choices are a Skull Cannon and a Burning Chariot. These are my spells, and you're looking at them. And these are his spells, as well as the gifts anyway, that his Herald of Khorne and his Keeper of Secrets got. Here's deployment, and for the most part, I castled. Not a true castle, because I kind of used that abandoned building over there on the right side to my advantage. But for the most part, yeah, I just threw everything I had over to the right with the exception of the Vargheist and the Skeleton Archer, scouts. Really, the Vargheist were just to try to get as much as I could way over to the side. And I wanted my Vargheist to go into the Skull Cannon and try to take that out. I figured with his Knights coming in, unless he got a crazy long distance charge, I would be able to just bounce over him. And hopefully either absorb a grape shot from his cannon or charge it in the flank and beat on it for a turn or two. I needed 3s and 4s, I think, to wound it, or 4s and 4s. But either way, I was pretty sure I could do some damage to it and make it pop because Legion of Chaos just crumbles now instead of taking the leadership. Other than that, like I said, everything's over to the side because he's got to come to me or he's not going to do a whole hell of a lot. That was the hope anyway. We'll see. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of his Khorne Knights and his Skull Cannon. And here's his center, which consists of his his Bloodletters with his, Herald of Khorne installed, his 3 Minotaurs, and his Herald of Tzeentch on a disc. And here's his left flank, which consists from right to left of his Burning Chariot, his Fleshhounds, and his Keeper of Secrets. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Casket, my Titan, my Skeleton Warriors with Vampire, BSB, Necrotech, and Tomb King installed. Behind them is my Archers with my Necromancer and Lich High Priest installed. And here's my center, which pretty much is my Scouts, my Chariots, and my Kitty. And here's my left flank, which consists of my Vargheists. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I got to go first. Basically, nothing happens. I mean, my chariots move up slightly so I can shoot at his minotaurs. My scouts move up a little bit, or move back a little, so I can shoot at his minotaurs. My Vargeist move up so that I have a charge into his cannon. And if his knights make the crazy, 11 or 12 to charge me, then they have to go into the forest. So that was kind of the hope there. Trying to cover all my bases. The Titan moved up so that it could maybe not Care Sarah, but Shem's Burning Gaze at the Burning Chariot thing. And that's really it. I'm Tomb Kings. I don't really want to move all that much. During the magic phase, I'm able to bring in 3 Bow Shati, and I put them right in front of my Skeleton Warrior unit because I figured why not. And then during the shooting phase, my combined shooting is able to slip a wound through on the Minotaurs, which means they're 1 wound closer to being not my problem. Nothing else of interest happens during the magic or shooting phase. We go over here to bottom of 1 after movement. And as you can see, there are no charges. His guys come up, passing their frenzy checks where applicable. And other than that, he comes up kind of respectfully. Even his keeper kind of stays behind that little tower there in the middle. I don't know fully what his plan was. Not even his Herald of Tzeentch on a disc moves. But he did come up gingerly, and that's fine. On the left flank there with his knights out of the way, I knew I could bounce my Vargeist through, or just flat out charge the cannon, whatever I wanted to do. And I felt good about that. Nothing happens in his magic phase. We go into shooting. His cannon targets the kitty, fires, and does 3 wounds to the kitty, which is a mistake because now I'm pissed, and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. No, it was actually a very intelligent shot. The kitty is a huge threat, and the fact that he did 3 wounds to him, I'm lucky he didn't do 5 or 6. I really am. He had a 1/3 shot at just vaporizing the kitty. At least like this, I have the opportunity to heal him, and I'm going to take that opportunity. So, with nothing else happening there, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and Operation Vargeist Charge goes into effect, and they slam into the cannon, passing dangerous terrain checks on the way in and on the way out, so no worries. But yeah, they make it, and that's golden. My scouts fall back a little bit so that the Minotaurs don't have an easy bounce through charge, but can still shoot at them. My chariots back up just slightly so they can shoot at them. My Upshati move up slightly so they can shoot at the Herald of Tzeentch or the Minotaurs, depending. My Stalkers come in, and I decide to target his Herald of Tzeentch because I just want it dead. And my Titan moves up slightly, or moves slightly so that he keeps the Burning Chariot in his front arc. That's about it. There's a better picture of my Vargeist slamming into the Skull Cannon, and I'm hoping that they'll make quick work of it. During the magic phase, I put a 5-up ward save on the kitty and heal a wound from him, so he's 1 step closer to being full up, and now he's got a ward save, so he'll probably shoot at something else. During the shooting phase, my Stalkers, I love the Stalkers. They're able to slip a couple of wounds through onto the Herald of Tzeentch and kill him, and that is outstanding. Taking out half of his casters, in top of 2 is very, very vital. And with a little luck, they can sneak up on Mr. Keeper and do a few wounds, if not all the wounds to him. I know I need 6s. I know he's got a 5-up ward. But you know what? If anyone can do it, my Stalkers could do it. Just got to think of him like Kolek, right? But one caster's dead, and that's huge. Then over here in the shooting phase, I'm only able to slip through 2 more wounds on the Minotaurs, but now they're only 2/3 effective, which means they're still one hell of a threat, but I'm okay with that. The one is dead, and that makes me happy. Then over here in combat, I flub. I don't flub. Let me take that back right now. I don't flub. My Vargeist actually do exceptionally well. They do 5 wounds to this thing, leaving him with a 5-up, 5-up. You want to guess how many armor and ward saves he made? All of them. All of them. And then, in their counterattacks, they're able to do a wound back to me. So charge to a wound, we stalemate. And I couldn't believe it. They did 5 wounds to this thing, and it made every single save. Math says no. Math says no. But I can't fault him for rolling well, but this guy, I'm telling you, he rolls his ward and armor saves like a pro. Look at me, pro. I guess, I should be grateful that he doesn't play just straight Warriors of Chaos because with, 3-up armor, 3-up ward, rerolling ones, he'd never die. I mean, there'd be nothing I could do. I'd have to hope to break him in combat res by some act of God and then run him down because everything else that he does is just infallible. This guy can make saves. What can I tell you? So, with the whining kind of held in check, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement. And again, he comes up cautiously. Even his keeper kind of hangs back a little bit. Everything else kind of starts to slowly encroach on my army. I'm starting to see that those Corn Knights are going to have to be dealt with. The Minotaurs, I think they got a little too close. So I'm thinking Chariots are going to go in and the Kitty. That way at least one of them makes it in. He's got great weapons on him, so I have a really good chance of killing them before they can do anything to me. Maybe, hopefully, let's pray. And yeah, other that's kind of where I'm thinking there. And then everything else just overruns into the Bloodletters because let's face it, that's going to happen eventually. So really, yeah, with his movement up and stuff like that, I'm not too concerned. I think he's given me some really good charges. Nothing happens in his magic or shooting phase. His magic phase is like a 3 or something like that. I'm easily able to dispel that. His shooting phase is currently in combat, so we go into combat, and I'm able to do another 4 wounds to this guy, and he makes all but 1, which means he's getting tired, which is good because I need to slip some wounds through. Unfortunately, he's able to do a wound back, and we are 1-1 yet again, and we stalemate. And again, I can't be mad at him for rolling well. The man always rolls well for his saves. Unfortunately, it's really detrimental to my plan on beating him, and I just find that rude. But it is what it is. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and I decide to back off a little bit. I move my scouts in such a way that they can catch the charge from the Corn Knights. I'm hoping that they fail their frenzy check and half the charge. If not, I'm hoping that he just chooses to charge. Either way, hits the scouts, overruns. They're out of position for a turn, and that's awesome. Maybe even 2 turns. So that would be great. Other than that, my Chariot's back up. My Kitty backs up. The Ubshati move up, daring the Minotaurs to charge them, because that'd be fine. I would love for my Skeleton Wars to go into them. I do make a mistake here. I do not think about it, but the flank of my Boshati is basically perfect for the Flesh Hounds. I'd love to say that was, intelligent design, but no, nowhere close. I totally screwed that up. And then I move my Titan over to get in the way of the Burning Chariot and perhaps Shem's Burning Gaze it one last time before it charges. I don't know how good this thing is in combat, but I have a feeling I'm about to find out. So I do this, and I hope for the best. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Glittering Robes off on the Titan, making him now have a 3-up armor, which is kind of cool, but I don't really know if it's necessary or not, but I figured why not? I wanted to try it. I wanted to see if Laura Metal was really going to help me out with this army or not, and so I threw him on there, and no regrets. Then over here, I'm able to get another 5-up ward save off on the Kitty, healing a wound and bringing him up to almost full strength, not to mention a ward save, so I feel pretty good about that. And then I'm able to get Shem's Burning Gaze off on the Burning Chariot, and I believe I get it off Irresistible. Unfortunately, I roll like a 3 for the amount of hits. 1 wounds. It actually does go through, so I feel good about that, but that's it. Not enough to kill it, but it is, hurting a little bit. Maybe the Titan can finish it off when it charges me next turn. I don't know. Then we go into combat over here, and this is ridiculous. I do another 5 wounds to him. He makes all of his saves, and then these things just go buck wild. They murder 2 Vargeist outright. He does 4 wounds, killing a Vargeist that was fully healthy a minute ago, taking the one out of its misery, and I get obliterated. Well, it's not a full 5 wounds. With combat res and everything like that, I end up taking a full 4 wounds, but very frustrating, very disappointing, and the only thing I can think is at least the Vargeist have gummed up this thing from shooting at me for a few turns, so I'm trying to see the upside here, but the amount of saves he's making should be illegal. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are illegal in like 3 states. Unfortunately, it's not my state, but You get my whining. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and he charges. His knights do fail their frenzy check and go into the scouts, and that's fine. His flesh hounds charge into the flank of the Boshati, and that's when I realized, oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. During the magic or during the shooting phase last turn, my stalkers tried to Care Bear stare at his seeker, and I rolled 2 misfires and a 4, and I don't do anything to his seeker, and I lose 2 stalkers for my trouble, which is just fantastic. But yeah, so he charges in, and his burning chariot also charges into my Titan. Other than that, everything else he has just kind of moves up, with the exception of the Stalker that turns to face the one remaining Stalker, or the Keeper that turns to face the one remaining Stalker to finish him off, and I'm very disappointed in them right now. There's a better picture of his knight slamming into my scouts, and that's going to be brutal. And there's a better picture of his fleshhounds taking advantage of my mistake. What good for him. Good on him. During the magic phase, he's able to get Cacophonic Choir off on only the Stalkers, which I'm fine with. He obliterates the last one, and that's what they get for rolling 2 misfires. I have no sympathy for him. And then here, the Vargeist gets killed. He does do 1 extra wound to the cannon, so that's something, I guess, but then he gets killed by the cannon crew and stuff like that, and I'm very, very frustrated with my Vargeist right now. Yeah, they gummed this thing up for a couple of turns, but I just expected more, I guess. And in all fairness, they really did well. It's just he did better with rolling his saves. So I guess I shouldn't be too mad, but I'm a powder. You know what can I tell you? No, I just expected more from my Vargeist. That's all. And then over here, my scouts, yeah, they sheath the Chaos Knights blades with their skulls, and well, Khorne's got 5 more skulls now, and the Khorne Knights, well, their bloodlust isn't sated. At least they got something, you know. They overrun. They don't go off the board, but they go right to the table edge, so they're really out of position for a turn or two, which is huge. And then over here, this was a huge upset for my opponent, which I kind of owed him after the cannon thing. My Boshati, my free unit of whatever, they not only do they not take any wounds, but the one that could attack back actually did a wound to a Flesh Hound. With charge and a flank to wound, I lose by 1. Could care less. Roll, make my leadership check, turn to face the Flesh Hounds, and now it's a fight. Could not believe it. I mean, wow. So this is what it feels like to be on the other side. I was so happy. So yeah, the Boshati were not ready to lay down yet, and they turned to beat on some dogs. So good on them. With all that fun said and done, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and you're looking at it. My chariots and my war kitties slam into the Minotaurs because it's time for them to die. My skeleton warriors just kind of turn to face whatever comes down the pipe at them. The archers kind of move to, to suit, and the Titan charged the burning chariot this turn. He tried to charge around my, or tried to move around my Titan last turn, but couldn't. So I charged it this turn. I'm sorry. Kind of a lot's happened since this game, so I apologize if some of the details have been remiss in my memory banks. But other than that, everything else I have is deader in combat. There's a better picture of my chariots and my war kitty slamming into the Minotaurs, and I feel really good about that. And there's a better picture of my Titan slamming into his burning chariot, and I feel good about that. Nothing happens in a magic or shooting phase, so we go into combat, and my Titan flubs. I don't think it does any wounds, to be perfectly honest. In return, though, the burning chariot is able to do a wound back. He takes charge and a wound charge to a wound. We basically stalemate, and at least the Titan's stopping it from destroying my casket, and I feel pretty good about that. Then over here, the Boshati just lose their mind. I'm sorry, during the magic phase, I was able to get Bubble Ward off. My mistake. But anyway, the Boshati are able to, I think they take 1 wound for their trouble, but they kill 3 of the Flesh Hounds after combat res and everything like that. So Boshati are kicking some ass right now, and it's awesome too because I really like the models. Then over here, yeah, my Chariot Kitty combo. I think its impact hits alone are able to just obliterate the Minotaurs, which is awesome. And then they overrun into the Bloodletters, which is also awesome. All I got to do now is hope that he doesn't make his 5 aboard saves like they're 1-ups. So now we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and my opponent makes his move. His keeper dives into the middle, and you know he's going to bubble acquire. I know it. You know it. Everybody that's around knows it. So what can you do? It's a legitimate move. There's nothing I can do but hope that he fails or he obliterates himself off the table if he does it. His Corn Knights just reform because that's all they can do, which is great. I know they're going to end up in my Skeleton Wars next turn. Couldn't care less. I'm pretty sure that my General can handle them, and my Vampire BSB, so that'll be nice. And other than that, everything else he has is dead or in combat. During the Magic phase, not only does he get Cacophonic Choir off, but he rolls like 5 5s and a 6 to do it. I tried to stop it and I failed, obviously, and he goes to town. He kills a Boshati. He kills about 5 or 6 Skeleton Warriors. He kills the Kitty. He kills a Chariot. Now everything strikes last. Everything's just awesome. I hate that frickin' spell so much. But it's a legitimate tactic. I can't fault him for doing it. Hell, I used to do it back way back when I ran a little, Sorceress Slanesh on a Steed Slanesh. So I can't fault somebody for doing what I did. It's just, I hate it when it happens to me. I'm a very one-way pain kind of guy, and it drives me crazy. But I don't think I'm out of this fight yet. I just think it's going to be a lot closer than I would have preferred. So, what can you do? Then over here, my Titan keeps with the times and takes another wound, loses by 1, but he's an Arcane Construct and doesn't care. So really all he's doing is stalling. He's got to survive 4 more rounds of combat. He might do it. We'll see. During the combat phase over here, though, the Boshati, they really pick it up, and they're able to finish off the Fleshhounds, even striking last. And then they turn to face the Seeker because they're hoping to put a wound or 2 on that piece of garbage before it ends up in combat with whatever. If I can get into combat with the Skeleton Warriors, I'd feel pretty good about that, too. So, without further ado, we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and I can't charge with my Skeleton Warriors, and I don't want to send in a Boshati, so I don't. I just kind of like, whatever. Other than that, everything I have is pretty much dead or in combat. I don't do a whole lot of moving at all. The Skeleton Archers move just enough to shoot at the Knights, and really that's it. During the Magic phase, I'm able to get a 5 aboard save on pretty much everything within. Well, I get it on the Skeleton Warriors, the Skeleton Archers, and the Casket. Out of range of the Titan and out of range of the Boshati. And then just in case the Seeker's going to, try to jump over my Skeleton Warriors. I don't know if it can fly or whatever, but I don't think it can, but I didn't want to. I couldn't remember, and I just figured screw it. So I get Hand of Dust off on my Lich Priest. Or on my level 2. I'd never tried it before, but I thought it'd be interesting if the Seeker came in and I got my attacks. If maybe I could do that one. It might be neat. I don't know. I wanted to try it. And then during the shooting phase, the Boshati, they put a wound through on the keepers. So they're really they're on my favorite list right now. Then, over here in combat, my Titan does nothing to the Chariot and picks up his wound from him, which I thought was very nice, because now it's kind of becoming tradition. With all the fun said and done, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement. And his Keeper Secrets and his Corn Knights charge into my Skeleton Warriors. And I think I've got that. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not thrilled about it, don't get me wrong. But with my BSB at strength 7, provided he doesn't focus too many attacks on my Vampire, I should be able to get some attacks on his Keeper and do some serious damage there. I've got the ranks and the wounds to tolerate this for a few rounds of combat. My Tomb King is in with the Knights, so I should be able to deal with that. And if the Keeper is foolish enough to issue a challenge, or anybody else, I've got a unit champion that I can bring back. So I'm feeling okay about this fight. I'm feeling like I have a chance. The Bloodletters tried to get in too, but failed to charge. And the only thing that he has left that's not in combat is the cannon, and it's been taking pot shots at my casket and failing. So that's pretty much it for movement. There's a better picture of his knights and his keeper slamming into my skeleton warriors, and now we got to fight. And there's a better picture of his bloodletters failing a charge into my skeleton warriors, which is really good. During his shooting phase, because nothing happens in the magic phase, he fires at my casket and blows it up. And the explosion hits both the Titan and the Burning Chariot, does 4 wounds to my Titan and 6 wounds to his Burning Chariot. Enough get through that the Burning Chariot dies. So basically, my whole right flank explodes to his cannon shot from his skull cannon, taking out my Titan, my casket, and his Burning Chariot. So, wow, that sucks. At least I got a chariot out of it, but ow! Over here, though, oh man, did this feel good. I'm not even going to try to hide it. I'm so happy right now. Needless to say, his keeper puts a whole bunch. He had a unit champion, I think, in the Knights, and my unit champion accepted and got pulverized. The counter attacks, my Tomb King, I think, was able to kill 3 of the Khorne Knights, and my Skeleton Warriors were able to put 1 wound through on the keeper. And then my Great Weapon wielding Vampire with Hatred was able to put 4 wounds through on the keeper, finishing that son of a bitch off, which was awesome. The only thing that the Vampire BSB has done in the 3 games that I have played with her, but Lady Coco took down a Keeper of Secrets, or finished it off anyway, and I'm very, very pleased with that. Needless to say, with combat res and everything like that, I win. He's got 1 Khorne Knight left that flees. I choose not to pursue because I got bloodletters to worry about. And since this thing's below 25%, I don't care. So it's going to flee off the table next turn, more than likely. If not, well, you know what? I'm not exposing my flank to the bloodletters. That's just silly. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and I decide, screw it. I really don't want to fight the Bloodletters because they have Killing Blow everywhere, and I don't want to lose my 3 characters. So the Boshati move up to basically block so that they can't charge my Skeleton Warriors. And even if they do kill the Boshati and run through them and slam into Skeleton Warriors, it'll be on bottom of 6. He'll have no chance to attack them, and my characters will be safe. So I feel pretty good about that. Other than that, everything I have is dead. So there's nothing more I can do. During the magic phase, I'm able to get a 5-up ward save on these guys just to bring some stuff back. And I get +1 attack and multiple shots, so I could shoot at the Khorne Knight a little bit and maybe take him out with a lucky shot. Other than that, nothing happens. Nothing happens in the shooting phase because that's just the way it is. So we go into bottom of 6 after movement. And his bloodletters do charge my Boshati, which I'm fine with. And his knight, like I predicted, did Knight Rally and then ran like 11 inches off the table. So I got the points for the Khorne Knights. I feel good about that. The bloodletters are going to kill my Boshati, but that's fine. They're not worth anything because I summoned them. And his cannon really doesn't have any solid targets to shoot at. So it is what it is. There's a better picture of his bloodletter slamming into my Boshati, and that's perfectly fine. And then this thing, oh, the universe is writing itself, and I don't even have to do anything. It just shoots randomly into the Skeleton Warriors. There's no reason to shoot at it, but, you know, what are the odds? And sure enough, he misfires a 1 and blows up his skull cannon. The universe is writing itself, I guess. Very, very interesting. We were both like, wow. Just, what do you do? What do you do? But a lot of highs and lows in this one so far. So, yeah. But I'll take it. You know, I'm not choosy. I'll take my points where I can get them. With nothing else going on in the shooting phase, we go into combat. And, yeah, if you can believe it, the Bloodletters rip apart the Boshati and that's not a surprise at all. I think maybe I did a wound or two to him. I think it was combat res and everything like that. I'm not sure. Not that it really matters. The bow shot to your dead, and that's really what it comes down to. He does overrun more out of spite than anything else, and does hit my skeleton warriors and slams into them, as you can see here. But it doesn't matter because there it is. There's the end of the game, guys, and what a game. The only thing that's left is infantry. He's got his, what's it called? Herald of Corn and his bloodletters. I have my characters, my warriors, and my archers. Everything else is dead. What a brutal friggin' game. Fun, but brutal. But you know what? We'll get to the recap in a minute because right now this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lords of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? Send him an email. You want Lore of Fire? Send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition? Send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated. They're on cardstock. They're Photoshop made. They're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards, the psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. Yep, for those of you paying attention at home, he earned it. He got himself the red die. The I got beat by Lord Tremendous. He's the second one since I've been giving these out to earn himself a red die. Had he beaten me, he'd have gotten a green one. But so far, the only person being able to do that is Death Holy Death. The only way to get these dice is to play me in a game, a full game, and, well, in this case, lose. You get a green die by winning. You only ever get one in your entire life, or one of each anyway. So play me twice, and then you never have to worry about it again until I get new dice, and if you want them. But yeah, he got this one, and he seemed happy about it. Happy enough, I guess. And yeah. So by all means, fly me out to your store or something like that. Come over to mine and get a game in. Meet me at a GT, and I'll give you the opportunity to earn a die. But yeah, in case you were wondering, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got 1,655 points out of him. He got 1,168 out of me for a difference of 487. The Undead Legion lost my Scouts, my Chariots, my Stalkers, my Kitty, my Vargeist, my Titan, and my Casket. The Legions of Chaos lost their Keeper, their Herald of Zinj, I'm sorry, the Skull Cannon, the Burning Chariot, the Fleshhounds, the Minotaurs, and the Chaos Knights. Oh man, what a game. My VAR guys really disappointed me. But you know what? I don't know how much I should really blame the VAR guys for that. My opponent was rolling crazy well in order to make all those armor and ward saves. I mean, it was just a 5 up, 5 up. And I did do a lot of wounds, but I don't know. I really want the VAR guys to be like this brutal powerhouse unit, and I'm just not getting it out of them. So I'm thinking about trying out more ghasts. Maybe with VAR guys, maybe like as a tag team or whatever. Or maybe I'll just take all the points putting in the Morghast because I would love to see a unit of 4 of those, even though it'd be expensive as hell. I really like those models. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. The Keeper of Secrets and its damn choir spell. I mean, I'm glad I killed the damn thing. Oh man, those things are rough. But it's a one-trick pony. It's got that spell. Sometimes it's got the little shooty whip thing and stuff. But it's just got that one trick, that choir thing, and it's just it can be frustrating. But I got it in the end, so I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much. But it wouldn't be me if I wasn't whining, right? The skull cannon taking out my casket and then blowing up the Titan and the burning chariot was climactic to say the least. It was a long drawn out fight where my Titan was just getting the crap beaten out of me, and then the cannon in true Corn fashion just killed everything. You're not dying fast enough. Kind of cool, kind of cool. Definitely funny. We laughed pretty hard about that. Him more than me, but I lost 2 big models. He only lost 1. And then the Skull Cannon killing itself. Bottom of 6 or whatever. Not that it really changed the outcome of the game, but wow. Just let that be a lesson to you, boys and girls. If you don't have to shoot, you don't have to magic, don't. Because bad things happen to those that get greedy. And the Boshati, holy crap. Took a flank charge from the Hounds and then weathered it, won it, turned to face them, and eventually blew him up after getting quired. Wow! And then they turned and put a wound on the, what's it called? The Keeper of Secrets before it could get into combat and get obliterated. So, holy crap! Very happy about that. Very impressed with my Boshati. And I'll have to summon them again because that was awesome. But as always, this was a really good game with a damn good opponent, and I'm looking forward to the rematch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 195. We are literally 5 battle reports away from seeing the epic battle one at 200. As always, though, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.